Hi everybody, what's going on? It's Freezer here, back with another video. In today's video, I want to talk about Mario Kart World, the Switch 2's big launch exclusive, the game that was supposed to show us what next-gen Nintendo racing would look like. It launched alongside the Switch 2's release, and it carried a premium price tag to suit, and it completely changed the way the Mario Kart formula worked. Now the game has been out for multiple months and has received multiple updates from the developers, we can ask the question of, is the game really worth buying? And for me personally, the question I really want to consider is, if I didn't buy it with my Switch 2 included in the bundle, would I have actually bought this game if I had to buy it full price? So, Mario Kart World launched as the Switch 2 system seller. No traditional Mario, no Zelda, no Smash, just Mario Kart. And not just any Mario Kart, Nintendo decided to completely shake up the formula by introducing a semi-open world structure. One big connected island, seamless transitions, long circuit style tracks, and exploratory events in between. So, on paper, this looked like a really ambitious project for the next title in the Mario Kart series. But this game launched at a very expensive price point, especially compared to Mario Kart Deluxe 8, which lasted almost a decade and had many years of DLC support. So, expectations were high, and honestly, at launch, it felt very experimental. And since it received quite a lot of backlash from the Mario Kart community who are used to the old style racer games, the developers really decided to commit to doing lots of different updates and lots of different things to hopefully improve and change the game over the time, as people weren't happy with the release window. So what were these updates that they did release since the update of the game? Firstly, they released version 1.1.2, which came out on June 26, 2025. This was the first major online lobby update which balanced the random course selection. This was really important as early on it really felt repetitive at how the soundtracks were consistently popping up. This update tried to do fixing that issue and help obviously the rotation of getting different race tracks into people's rotations. Then the second major update came on September 24th, 2025. This was update 1.3, and this came with map markers for P-switches and medallions and increased lap course frequency. This update was clearly reactionary to how we'd had feedback from players saying that they did not like how the races were mostly long courses rather than the traditional 3-lap format, as well as hopefully adding some quality of life improvements as it allowed people to track the P-switches and medallions that they had already collected and done in the open world. And the third major update that was released was version 1.4.0, which was released on December 2nd of 2025. This allowed for more custom items, route track redesigns, and musical titles added to the pause menu. Custom items were huge for competitive players that gave more control and more chaos customization. Route designs showed Nintendo were listening, some tracks were genuinely reworked to flow better, but redesigned tracks post-launch kind of proved something. Maybe the original direction fully wasn't thought through. Then finally we have the most recent update, which came out of January 21st, 2026, which was version 1.5.0. This released team races for Knockout Tour and the Kamek item fix. Team races were added for more chaos to Knockout Tour, which was really fun to do with friends. But again, these are additions around the edges. Nothing here fundamentally changed the open world, which was my main issue. So, I have discussed with you kind of the 4 major updates that they have brought into the game so far. These things have, really made some significant changes and hopefully redesigned some maps for the better. However, for me personally, there is still a lot that the game has left to do, and a lot more that I think they could possibly offer with free updates and DLC content, which I will now discuss. So, where would I start firstly to fix Mario Kart World? My first and probably main problem with the game is the open world issue. Mario Kart World tried to be like Forza Horizon, but it didn't fully commit. Yes, there is a big island, yes, there are P-switches, and yes, you can drive around freely. But the world feels simply empty. If you're going to do an open world game, it needs to be interactive. Imagine this instead. You physically drive to the start line of an online race to queue. You find the battle arena location on the map to enter the battle. Weather changes randomly, snow, rain, heat, waves, things like this, adding effect and grip to handling and things like that. Dynamic track conditions that change how races really feel. That would make the world feel more alive. So what are the steps that I would take to add these sort of things in and make the game feel more interactive and alive from my open world perspective? So firstly, I think it'd be really great if Nintendo committed to doing things like dynamic world events, random live events that could happen around the island, destination races, infestation style elimination modes, team coin collection challenges, and biome based events. This would make the world more unpredictable and changing, so each time we logged on, the world might be slightly different, even if it has got the main sort of routes. They might have different weather conditions or different things or different events going on that would make them feel different. I definitely think as well they could do include a mission mode and boss battles. Mario Kart DS had mission mode. Why not bring this back properly? Overworld bosses, time-based challenges, skill trials, story progression across the island. Instead of just loading in for races from the menus, you explore and unlock as you go through, exploring the whole island in a better journey style environment. Even if you did want to still jump in and explore different parts of the map, there should be some sort of chronological way that you could also explore through the map for the first time, maybe in some sort of story mode. NPC rivalries. Imagine roaming the map and you see Yoshi coming to challenge you as a rival race. A Shy Guy needs help escaping from somewhere, or a Bowser Jr. ambush event appears. That will create personality and randomly generated events that aren't just things like P switches that are just stuck around the map that you can find at the same place each time. You can have lots of different ways, you could do these random events similar again to how you would do the limited time events that we spoke about earlier. You could also have things like crazy taxi mode where you'd pick a character up at one destination and deliver them at another one with a beat the timer mechanic. It sounds simple, but it would be Mario Kart and it would really create really great rewards and ways to include and buy more customizable items that could be used to make your character feel more unique. So, with all these changes I'd made to the open world, what could you actually do with the things you collect with these rewards? I definitely would add some sort of in-game shop. In this in-game shop, you could use coins you collect from different sort of events and missions to buy, exclusive cart colours, character costumes, and limited time seasonal cosmetics potentially. These could be included both for your in-game skins and for your carts themselves. I appreciate that skins are unlocked through different sort of ways at the moment, but maybe I'd really like them to see, adding skins for things like time trial challenges, or maybe completing the story, or reaching a certain ranked mat rank, if that makes sense. Doing all these sort of different things that aren't just around racing. There could be specific really hard challenges that you see someone with that skin and go, oh wow, that guy actually is really skilled or really talented as they've collected X amount of thing, or they've completed X thing in such amount of time. Or it could be for some sort of really long grind, like they've collected 500 switches, or they've got 200 wins on a specific map maybe. Then this would allow for additional customization for carts as well. As at the moment, I appreciate they've changed the way that the cart mechanics work, so you can't choose different parts. But for each part, it would be really cool if you could pick color schemes, or collect different skins for different themes and stuff. I really think it would add some uniqueness to characters and ways to make your character different in game. So, moving on from the shop where you'll be able to buy items for your characters, something else that frustrates me quite a way is the way that the character selection menus are actually handled. And this isn't a big game defining change or any sort of issue, but it's something for me that is just not organised correctly. Skins should be organised in a way that you select a character and you choose a skin for it, similar to how it might be done in things like Smash Bros. As at the moment, it is very messy that, when you unlock skins, you have to go and find a new skin right at the back of your collection, rather than all the skins for each character being in one place. Again, this would then add to being able to get different skins and seeing how you unlock the different skins for different reasons, like how you normally traditionally currently unlock the skins, or maybe you unlocked it through collecting 500 gold or doing some sort of time trial. So, the final big thing I would like to discuss around Mario Kart World is the DLC and what I think that could possibly add to maybe even potentially save the game. So, hopefully, Mario Kart World will make some sort of changes and make the open world more interactive and more free with some sort of updates like things I have mentioned in this video previously. However, I think they need to make more content and make, expanded maps and even more places to explore, and they could do this through a DLC. As we know that the Mario Kart island is on a island situated with water all around it, So I would be very surprised if the way the new DLC isn't handled is to, add all these new islands that will pop up around the island itself. So now hopefully you can be able to create these large bridges that you could go across to explore these new lands as well. I definitely think that these islands could include more 3-lap races. As you know, they've tried to rebalance and remake maps to make them more 3-lap viable, as we've heard from the updates that they've tried to do that, and from community backlash that there are not enough of these courses. So I definitely think that DLC could be used to focus on rebalancing them and hopefully allowing users to enjoy both that balance of 3-lap and longer style courses. Then as well, I definitely think as at the moment there is for me a lot of characters within Mario Kart, but not a lot from other external Nintendo IPs. Imagine that you had some sort of Pokemon themed island, a Zelda themed region, and maybe an Animal Cross themed region. Just as an example cross IP DLC that could be really, really cool and allow for other unique characters to be added into the Mario Kart universe. This could add loads of different and cool things to the game and really create an immersive experience, which even might entice people from other backgrounds and games to come and try Mario Kart World. So, now I've gone over all the points that I will try to improve and all the ideas I had to try and make Mario Kart World a better game. At its current state, with the updates that have been applied, is it worth buying? Here's my honest take. Mario Kart World is not a bad game. It's bold, it's tried to do something new. Nintendo clearly didn't want just to sell Mario Kart 9 with shinier graphics. And they have been listening. Updates have proved that with things like map redesigns. But for me, they changed the formula too much too quickly. The open world doesn't feel like it has enough content to justify its existence, and it feels like it's just been a framework that they didn't fill in. So, if I was to buy the game today without having it come out with the Switch 2 bundle on launch, would I have paid full price for it? Honestly, I'm really not sure, and that's the problem. I really think if they could look to implore and include some of the ideas I've had and explore other ways they could improve the game, especially in the open world aspects, as well as adding more 3-lap courses, I really think that Mario Kart World could be a success. However, I think that there is a significant amount of work to be done for free updates and patches to make the game feel more alive. And then when they have done that work, they can then look to release more DLC courses, which would allow for more content and larger worlds to be explored. However, they really need to get it key that they add more to the open world to make it more explorable and more interactive before they just go and add more DLC and paid content with more just open spaces that aren't going to be utilised. So, Mario Kart World had the chance to redefine the series. Instead, it feels like the foundations are waiting to be built on. If Nintendo can support this game properly and include more free updates and meaningful DLC with deeper open worlds and better in-game systems, I really think that it could become incredible. But right now, it feels like a great idea that is only half finished. Let me know what you guys think about Mario Kart World and the ideas I've had to improve in the comments section down below. And please let me know if you guys bought the game at full price when it released, or did you get it in the bundle, and do you prefer the open world that Mario Kart is currently trying to go with? I really hope you have enjoyed in listening to my opinions about this game, and if you did like this video, I would implore you to look at some of my other videos I have on the channel and will be linked in the end cards at the moment. Thank you very much, please like and subscribe, and I will hopefully see you in the next video. This has been Freaksy, goodbye.